Hello, my name is Denise Bouveret. I'm the North America Corn Trait Launch Manager with Bayer Crop Science.
And my name is Jody Gander. I'm a Market Development Manager in the Corn Agronomic Systems Group at Bayer Crop Science.
And Jody and I are really happy to join you today to tell you a little bit about the SmartStax PRO technology that Bayer is bringing to market very soon. As you know, corn rootworm remains an important and challenging pest for corn growers across North America. Many factors can contribute to the damage potential, including weather, soil properties, crop rotation, and management practices. Depending upon these factors, root beating damage can lead to yield losses of up to 45%. The USDA estimates the economic impact of corn rootworms is more than $1 billion annually for growers in the US. As plant-incorporated insecticides have been introduced into the market to help control the impact of these damaging pests, several best management practices have been established to combat insect resistance, primarily crop rotation and the use of pyramid products with multiple modes of action. These practices continue to be critically important for trait stewardship to ensure the durability and continued control of corn rootworms. As such, we'd like to introduce you to SmartStax PRO Technology from Bayer. SmartStax PRO Technology is the next generation of corn rootworm protection. We're very excited about a recent approval for our third generation corn rootworm trait, as we now can move forward with our plans to commercialize this important product in the US. SmartStax PRO Technology will be the first product in the market offering 3 modes of action for control of corn rootworms. In addition to corn rootworms, SmartStax PRO will also offer growers broad spectrum protection against above ground pests, as well as tolerance to glyphosate and glufosinate herbicides. SmartStax PRO combines the proven benefits of our SmartStax technology with an additional unique RNAi-based mode of action, providing improved corn rootworm control over a range of pressure. The introduction of this unique mode of action, which is complementary to the existing Bt proteins, will provide growers with yet another tool in their toolbox to help control damaging corn rootworms. Now I'll turn it over to Jody to talk to you a little bit more about how the Rnai technology works compared to Bt.
As Denise said, SmartStax PRO will be the first product on the market that has 3 modes of action for corn rootworm control. Those 3 different modes of action, 2 of those will come from what we would think of as traditional Bt protein technology, and the third one will be from this new RNAi technology. So let's spend a little bit of time talking about how these different technologies work. So with Bt technology, Bt proteins are produced within the plant tissue, and the corn rootworm larvae come and feed on the root tissue, and they ingest those proteins. Once inside the insect, and we see here we have, the midgut of the insect. Once in the insect, the protein undergoes a process called proteolysis, and then that toxin moves to the cell wall or the cell membrane of the midgut and binds to that midgut. Once those proteins bind to the midgut, they result in pores being formed, and those pores will cause a loss of the membrane integrity, and that leads to eventual death of the insect. So you can see this is how traditional Bt technologies work when we think about the Cry3BB1 and the Cry3435 proteins that will be present in SmartStax PRO. With RNAi technology, it works in a little bit of a different way. So we see here, this top part of this diagram, we will see that a gene codes in the DNA, a gene codes for the messenger RNA to carry the message for a certain protein to be produced within the corn rootworm larva. That protein is produced, and again, the corn rootworm larva survives, and he is able to feed on the corn root plant tissue. And here we can see we have a corn root that has some damage from corn rootworm feeding. With RNAi technology, what it does is it interferes with this process where this protein is produced. So in the plant, instead of a protein being produced, the plant produces double-stranded RNA. The corn rootworm, again, they come along and they feed and ingest that double-stranded RNA. And once ingested, fragments of that double-stranded RNA will target a specific section of this messenger RNA. And that causes this messenger RNA to be broken up and it doesn't function properly. And therefore, that protein is not produced. So by interfering with this pathway, that's where we get the RNA interference, or RNAi. That is a natural process by which this protein is not produced. And since this protein is essential to survival of the insect goes ahead and dies. And here we can see when that insect dies, we don't really get much feeding. The corn root is very full, very little damage as far as root pruning, and very few feeding scars as well. I want to draw your attention, Rnai Technology. If you want to learn a little bit more about Rnai Technology, here is a link at the top here to a YouTube video that does a very good job of explaining how Rnai Technology works. So if we get back to SmartStax PRO, we have been testing SmartStax PRO for the last several years. And when we test SmartStax PRO, we try to put it in locations where we have really high corn rootworm pressure. We try to target locations that have had issues with greater than expected damage in the past, locations that might be a trap crop the previous year, as well as locations that have been corn on corn for numerous years. So we're really trying to get the highest pressure that we can to really see what kind of performance and what kind of efficacy we get out of SmartStax PRO. We tested SmartStax PRO against non-traded as well as many different commercial trait packages. And one of the things that we've seen is that SmartStax PRO provides significantly better root protection in these field trials in these locations where we have moderate to heavy corn rootworm pressure. We have a couple of pictures here from some of these trials, or one of these trials that was conducted in Iowa in 2019. On the left-hand side, you can see here, would be a non-corn rootworm traded corn root. You can see in here some root pruning. You see this plant was significantly root lodged, so quite a bit of damage on this plant. You can see some regrowth of corn roots, but again, if you get into the root node here, quite a bit of damage on this non-traded plant. Whereas if we look at the plant on the right with SmartStax PRO, we see very little root pruning and even very few feeding scars. So again, SmartStax PRO under some pretty significant rootworm pressure, SmartStax PRO is doing a really good job of providing protection against corn rootworm. And this is important because, again, as Denise mentioned with SmartStax PRO, it builds on the proven performance of BT technology by adding in this other mode of action. That only gives us greater efficacy, but also gives us better trait durability.
So Bayer plans to expand our commercial testing programs as well as conduct on-farm market development trials with our SmartStax PRO technology this summer, while ramping up volumes for a U.S. commercial introduction in 2022. This expanded testing helps us select the best hybrids and validate our product placement recommendations that will accompany these products at launch, so that we can ensure the best possible experience for our growers with this new technology. Market development trial plans for this summer are being finalized and will be communicated in the near future. Feel free to contact your Bayer representative to learn more about where you can get a look at the SmartStax PRO technology this summer. Our spring and summer kickoff sessions will also incorporate additional education, customer experience, and launch plans to let you know what to expect. Bayer is very excited to get our new SmartStax PRO technology into the hands of growers. As Jody mentioned, with its 3 modes of action for corn rootworm control, we believe SmartStax PRO technology has broad agronomic fit across corn acres with a range of corn rootworm pressure. And this new technology will give growers peace of mind that their crop is better protected against difficult to control corn rootworms. Bayer plans to offer SmartStax PRO products in our elite genetics across all maturity zones, and we're currently ramping up volumes for US commercial introduction in 2022. Hybrid availability and volumes for 2022 will be announced later this fall, but we have great confidence that this product will provide tremendous value for growers in helping them address the difficult challenges with corn rootworms on their farm. In closing, the most important things to remember about Bayer's new SmartStax PRO technology is that it's built on the proven benefits of SmartStax. It will be the first product in the market offering 3 modes of action for corn rootworm control. The addition of a unique RNAi-based mode of action will provide improved corn rootworm control over a range of pressure, offering growers additional peace of mind. And SmartStax PRO products will be commercially available starting in 2022. Bayer Crop Science remains committed to bringing innovative solutions and industry-leading technology to address our customers' toughest challenges. And as such, we are very excited to get SmartStax PRO technology into the hands of growers. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share this new technology with you today. And we can't wait to get this product out to you next year. Thank you.